Now let us see how to use these inequalities to prove equalities. We will see that slowly, but let us first find out what does this mean by this equality. So let us find out all the values of x, that is all real numbers x, which satisfy this equation 3x minus 2 mod equal to 5. So immediately you can think of squaring it, 3x minus 2 square equal to 5 square, and try to solve it, but there can be better ways. So what do? We know that this modulus, so that means either it is equal to that or it is equal to minus of that. So which means 3x minus 2 can be either equal to 5 or equal to minus 5. That is what we write. Immediately instead of the quadratic, we get two linears. That is what of course you get when you solve the quadratic. You square it and then solve the quadratic, you would obtain this one, but directly it is easier. So 3x minus 2 equal to plus or minus 5. Then that will be easier to solve. Now 2x equal to 2 or with plus or minus 5. That gives two possibilities. So 3x equal to 2 plus 5, which is 7, or 3x equal to 2 minus 5, which is minus 3. Then you divide 3 to get 7 by 3 and minus 1. Similarly, let us find out if instead of equality, we have an inequality. That is, find the values of all x, that is all real x, that satisfy mod of 3x minus 5 less than 1. Now you can use your sixth one, which we mentioned earlier. X minus a mod less than delta means x belongs to the delta neighborhood of the point A. So we will use that and see what happens. Now 3x minus 5 mod is less than 1 if and only if this is your a and this is your delta. So a minus delta is less than x is less than a plus delta. Now our x is 3x. Okay, so you get 5 minus 1 less than 3x less than 5 plus 1. These are all the possibilities, and that you simplify to get 4 by 3 is less than x less than 2. So these are just simple things, how we get equalities, how do we get inequalities with modulus. In fact, there is a way in calculus, sometimes we find it is very difficult to prove equalities, but it will be easier to prove some inequalities. So in those cases, we must know how to apply or how to obtain an equality from inequalities. Always we cannot get, of course, but there are some cases where this is possible. So let us see those cases. So suppose for every epsilon greater than 0, every positive epsilon, you find that mod of some real number a is less than epsilon. It is a bit difficult to understand. What it says, you have some real number somewhere a, and you see that its absolute value is always on the right side, that is less than epsilon for every epsilon. So what will happen to the absolute value? Instead of a, let us consider mod a. Mod a is non-negative, and that is always less than whatever epsilon you take. So if this is my mod a, now mod a is less than epsilon. Epsilon is what? Let me say 1. So epsilon is 1, I have mod a is less than 1. But I also see that for every epsilon, mod a is less than epsilon. So if I take epsilon equal to half, mod a cannot lie here, mod a has to lie here. So this is not mod a can be here. But I take epsilon equal to 1 by 4, then mod a cannot be there, mod a has to be here. So it proceeds that way. It gives a feeling that what happens to this mod a. So what it says, it cannot be anything positive, it has to be 0 only. If it is anything positive, we can choose always another epsilon which is smaller than that. Then mod a should have been smaller than that epsilon. Exactly, that is the proof. So let us see how to proceed. We will come back to this. First let us prove. So assume that for each epsilon greater than 0, mod a is less than epsilon. We are now trying to prove 1. We will come back to 2, 3, 4 in a minute. So assume that for each epsilon greater than 0, mod a is less than epsilon. Now what do we do? If mod a is greater than 0, we want to prove that mod a equal to 0. But mod a can be either equal to 0 or can be greater than 0. It can't be negative. So, the other case remains is mod A is greater than 0. So, suppose on the contrary that mod A is greater than 0. Then what we do? So, we are really using that geometry what we have discussed. We have 0 here. So, now mod A is greater than 0 given. So, mod A is here. So, what do we do? We choose our epsilon to be something smaller than mod A. Let us say epsilon equal to mod A by 2. So, for this epsilon, what will happen? Mod A should be less than epsilon. So, that means mod A should be less than mod A by 2, but this is a contradiction. Therefore, mod A cannot be greater than 0. So, mod A must be equal to 0, and mod A equal to 0 gives A equal to 0. So, that is how it answers our question, that if mod A is less than epsilon for every epsilon, what about A? A has to be equal to 0. That is what it says. Now, let us look at the second statement. Here we do not have every epsilon greater than 0, but it says something about natural numbers. It says that mod A is less than 1 by n for every natural number n, as we have done there. So, that means mod A is less than 1, mod A is less than half, mod A is less than 1 by 3, mod A is less than 1 by 4, and so on. Then it says that mod A cannot be positive, it has to be equal to 0. If you are able to fill it correctly, then what it says that we have done for every epsilon. Now, we are not giving for every epsilon, but for some very particular epsilons, but they are still infinite in number. They are in the form 1 by n for natural number n. Of course, you can use Archimedean principle. If you have any 1 by n, if you have epsilon positive, then you can choose one n such that 1 by n is smaller than the epsilon. So, this really should give rise to the answer. In fact, we will prove that through Archimedean principle. Let us see how to go about it. If for each n in n, mod A is less than 1 by n, we want to show that A is less than 0. So, what do we do? Assume that for each n in n, mod A is less than 1 by n. Our aim is to show that A equal to 0. As our experience shows, we should try to show mod A equal to 0. But mod A cannot be negative, of course, it can be positive. So, let us assume the contrary, that mod A is positive. What happens for that? Then what happens? We use the Archimedean principle. Archimedean principle, recall what it says, given any two positive numbers, say alpha and beta, you can always find one natural number n such that n times alpha will be bigger than beta. This beta is our bathtub, alpha is our spoon. Remember that? So, this says n times alpha must be bigger than beta. Okay, how to use that here? Well, we take alpha equal to mod A and beta equal to 1. So, that means we will get one natural number n such that n times m times alpha is bigger than 1, or if you write it m times mod A is bigger than 1, or mod A must be bigger than 1 by m. So, we have a natural number m such that mod A is bigger than 1 by m, but that is a contradiction because mod A must be less than 1 by n for every n. How can you find one m for which mod A will be bigger than 1 by m? That is the contradiction. So, that contradiction shows that mod A is greater than 0 is wrong. So, mod A equal to 0 and therefore, A equal to 0. Similarly, you can show the other properties, okay, which are, I am again reproducing it here. We can prove that for every epsilon greater than 0, if A is less than B plus epsilon, then A must be less than or equal to B. Now, we are not looking at mod, but directly the real numbers A and B. So, what it says? A is less than B plus epsilon for every epsilon. So, you can as well think of epsilon very near 0. It is less than everything bigger than B. So, it cannot be bigger than B, right. If A is bigger than B, suppose A is here and B is here, A is bigger than B, then our condition A is less than B plus epsilon will not be satisfied for some epsilon. How can we produce such an epsilon? A is less than B plus epsilon will be contradicted because B is smaller than A. A is bigger. So, what I do? A should be less than B plus epsilon. But if I take epsilon to be larger than this distance, then A is again smaller than or equal to that epsilon. So, I take something here. This is my B plus epsilon. Now, what it says? It said A is bigger than B plus epsilon, but A should have been smaller than B plus epsilon. So, that is how you have to choose your epsilon. Something like A minus B by 2, which is when added to B will be still smaller than A, and that will be the proof. So, the filling matters. What it happens here is, if A is smaller than B plus epsilon, so epsilon can be made smaller and smaller. A has to be less than or equal to B. It cannot surpass B. It cannot be bigger than B. That is what it says. Similarly, the fourth one says, instead of epsilon now any n, if A is smaller than B plus 1 by n for every natural number n, then A must be less than or equal to B. So, these are the 4 things. In one of these forms will be useful for showing that something equal to something or something is less than or equal to something, whereas we can produce only less than. A is less than this, mod A is less than this, only that we are able to prove. So, in that case we can use this and conclude that A is equal to B or A is less than B and so on. Okay, so, these are about equalities and inequalities. Now, let us use what we have learnt. So, the question is, we have to find all x that satisfy this inequality, that absolute value of 3x by 5 minus 1 is greater than 2 by 5. Again, you can square both the sides and do, but we have learnt better. So, what do we do? We know what is the meaning of x minus a mod is bigger than delta. So, this means x lies beyond the delta neighborhood, close to delta neighborhood, so to say. That means x has to be bigger than a plus delta or x is smaller than a minus delta, right. So, let us use that. Now, 3x minus 5 minus 1 mod is bigger than 2 by 5. We use that. It says 3x by 5 is less than 1 minus 2 by 5, a minus delta, or 3x by 5 is bigger than a plus delta, which is 1 plus 2 by 5. Now, both the things we have to solve and go on putting them or. So, that gives x is less than 1 from the first one, 1 minus 2 by 5. So, 3x by 5, the right side becomes 5 minus 2, it is 3 by 5. So, x must be less than 1, 3 by 5 gets cancelled, and on the other side you have 3x by 5 is bigger than 7 by 5, 5 gets cancelled. So, 3x is bigger than 7 or x is bigger than 7 by 3. So, that means all these x satisfy this condition, x is less than 1 or x is bigger than 7 by 3. We can write that in terms of intervals, of course. So, that means x belongs to minus infinity 1, less than 1, or it is bigger than 7 by 3. So, 7 by 3 up to infinity. That is how it will look like. Okay. Now, let us go for the second problem, which asks us to solve the equation mod of x minus 1 equal to 1 minus x. Again, you can square it, but do we need? Okay. What we need to use is minus of mod a, because this is x minus 1 equal to 1 minus x. So, this 1 minus x is really minus of x minus 1. Then it reminds us this equality, that minus a mod equal to a if and only if a is greater than or equal to 0. So, that means x minus 1 must be greater than or equal to 0, right, or 1 minus a is greater than, which one? We are using in the form minus a mod equal to a, if a is greater than or equal to 0, right. If you take the other way, you would get a mod equal to minus a. So, a mod equal to minus a when a is less than or equal to 0. In that case, a will be x minus 1, but we are using this minus mod a equal to a. if and only if a is greater than or equal to 0. So, here our a is 1 minus x. So, that gives the inequality that 1 minus x must be greater than or equal to 0, and that directly gives us 1 is greater than or equal to x. So, where is x? So, that means x must be less than or equal to 1. If it is 0, this is 1, then all these things, x can be anywhere here. So, that is what we say x belongs to minus infinity 1, closed 1. Okay, that is about the equality. Now, let us take the third one. It asks us to find out all real number x which satisfy these two conditions. First condition is mod x less than or equal to 3, and the next condition is x must be bigger than minus half. So, where do we start? One condition is nice, x is bigger than minus half, that is easy to tackle, but the other one concerns mod x. So, first we should see what is the meaning of mod x less than or equal to 3. Again we go back to our earlier thing, mod x minus a. So, mod x minus 3 is less than or equal to 3, it means mod x minus 0 really, or if you have remembered the earlier ones, it directly gives you that x belongs to the delta neighborhood of 0. So, it is minus 3 less than or equal to x less than or equal to 3, right. Of course, that is clear. Here you have 0 and you have 3, distance should be 3. So, distance 3 means this side it is 3, this side it is minus 3. So, x must be in between this, that is what it says. Okay. Now, you have to combine both. So, once I have the other one, x is bigger than minus half, we would get mod x less than or equal to 3 and x greater than minus half. That is same thing as telling x is between minus 3 to 3 and x is bigger than minus half. So, x is between minus 3 to 3 and x is bigger than minus half. So, that means it is really this one, x can be here, that is minus x less than or equal to 3. So, let us stop here. All that we have covered today is about the absolute value and how absolute value is used in the equalities by shifting the origin. So, the main condition was that mod x minus a equal to delta, or mod x minus a is less than delta, or mod x minus a is bigger than delta. Then using all those things, we would be able to find out the relation between these neighborhoods and how to express them using the absolute value. Okay. So, let us stop here.